giant book haul today. So these are, I think, all books I got for my birthday. I think I got some books for gifts. I got a bunch of gift cards. So these are all books from last month, for my birthday month. So let's just jump in and get started. We have some weird stuff. We have some horror, some thriller. I think that's mainly it. But yeah, let's just jump in, no particular order. Oh gosh. Oh. Okay, so like I said, some of these are strange. This first one is Pigtails, a novel of lust and transformation by Mary... How the hell do you say this last name? Don't know. You let me know. And it just says, Pigtails is a story of a young woman who lands a position at Perfumes Plus, a beauty boutique slash massage parlor. She enjoys great success until she slowly metamorphoses into a pig. Metamorphoses. What happens to her, oh my gosh, this is so hard to read. What happens to her then overturns all our ideas about relationships between man, woman, and beast in a stunning feminist fable of political and sexual corruption. When this extraordinary novel appeared in France, it became an overnight success. So excited to read this. I picked this up because I was looking at recommendations for a Dennis Cooper book, and this one came up, so I was like, okay, I'll pick that up. Next, I got Murder Most Serene by Gabrielle Whitcomb. This is the author of the book that I loved. We're still early in the video, so I gotta watch what I say. The book that was my favorite last year. So this just says, in the last days of the Venetian Republic, the successive wives of Count Alvise Lonzo suffers mysterious, agonizing deaths. Murder Most Serene offers a cruel portrait of a beautiful, corrupt city-state and its equally extravagant, cruel, and corrupt inhabitants. Redolent of darkness, death, corruption, poison, and transgression, it is also over-the-top, tongue-in-cheek Venetian romp. Rich in historical detail and bursting with bejeweled putrescence, I don't know, of physical, moral, societal, and institutional corruption, in which the author plays the role of puppeteer. So yeah, I just really wanted to read something else from her. I mean, I have another book, but that one had been on my list for a while. Next, I got this one. I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it just pronounced Paradise? I don't know. But this is by Ferdinand Melchor. And the back just says, inside a luxury housing complex, two misfit teenagers sneak around and get drunk. Franco Andrade, lonely, overweight, and addicted to porn, obsessively fantasizes about seducing his neighbor, an attractive married woman and mother, while Polo dreams about quitting his grueling job at a gated community as a gated community's gardener, and fleeing his overbearing mother in their necro-controlled village, each facing the impossibility of getting what he thinks he deserves. Franco and Polo hatch a mindless and macabre scheme, written in a chilling torrent of prose by one of the most thrilling new writers. This book explores the explosive fragility of Mexican society with its racist, classist, hyper-violent tendencies, and how the myths, desires, and hardships of teenagers can tear life apart at the seams. This was on a list of, I think, disturbing books, which is why I picked that one up. Next, we have The Unworthy by Augustina Bazterrica. This is the author of Tender is the Flesh. This is her new novel that just came out, I think last month. It says, from her cell in a mysterious convent, cloistered away from climate catastrophe that has plunged the world into chaos, a woman writes the story of her life in whatever she can find discarded ink, dirt, and even her own blood. A lower member of the sacred sisterhood, deemed an unworthy, she dreams of ascending to the ranks of an enlightened at the center of a convent and pleasing the forbidden superior sister. But when a strange newcomer joins the ranks of the unworthy, the narrator is forced to consider her long buried past. As she grows closer to the newcomer, she is increasingly haunted by questions that she can no longer ignore. How did she get to the sisterhood? How did she get to the sacred sisterhood? Why can't she remember her life before? And what really happens when a woman is chosen to be enlightened? So this sounds very good. I will probably read this one relatively soon. I have something in my freaking eye. Hold on. Meow. Okay, This one I actually picked up yesterday. My husband did surprise me with a bookstore visit yesterday, and he said, pick out 2 books. Isn't that so sweet? Oh, I love him. So this is one of the ones that I picked up yesterday. It seems weird. I don't know. I'm in a weird reading mood. As you can tell, I've got some weird books going on. But this is Margie Starsfield's Beta Vulgaris. I'm not sure. Look at the cover. Very intrigued. And it just says, a young woman's seasonal job working a sugar beet harvest takes a surreal turn in the surprising and vivid debut. Elise and her boyfriend Tom set off for Minnesota, hoping the paycheck for the sugar beet harvest will cover the rent on their Brooklyn apartment. Amidst the grueling work and familiar anxieties about her finances, Elise starts noticing strange things, threatening phone calls, a mysterious rash, and snatches of an ominous voice coming from the beet pile. When Tom and other co-workers begin to vanish, Elise is left alone to confront the weight of her past, the horrors of an uncertain future, and the menacing but enticing siren song of the beats. Biting, eerie, and confidently told, this story harnesses a distinct voice and audacious premise to undermine straightforward narratives of class, trauma, consumption, and redemption. So sometimes when I'm at the bookstore and I'm trying to figure out, because I had 3 books, I'm like, I'm not sure which one to get. I'll go on Goodreads and I'll look at the ratings. And he's like, well, this one kind of doesn't have like great ratings. I'm like, well, it's about talking beets. It's not going to be for everyone. So I was like, I'm going to pick it up. It sounds weird, but it sounds like, I mean, you guys know, I love books that have stuff under the surface. And so, yeah, maybe these talking beets will speak to me. Okay, next I did end up buying The Lamb by Lucy Rose. This says, Margot and Mama have lived in the forest ever since Mama can remember. When Margot is not at school, they spend quiet days together in their cottage, waiting for strangers to knock on the doors. Strays, Mama calls them. People who have strayed too far from the road. Mama loves strays. She feeds them wine, keeps them warm. Then she satisfies her burning appetite by picking apart their bodies. But Mama's want is stronger than her hunger sometimes, and when a beautiful white-toothed stray named Eden turns up in the heart of a snowstorm, Margot must confront the shifting dynamics of her family, untangle her own desires, and make her bid for freedom. When this gothic coming-of-age tale debut novel, Lucy Rose explores how women swallow their anger, desire, and animal instincts and wring the relationship between mother and daughter until blood drips from it. And then the reason why I ended up reading this was because after our last book club, like when we were chatting about the book Victorian Psycho, a few of you guys in there said that this kind of gave you the same feel. And ever since I finished Victorian Psycho, I just want to go back. I really enjoyed that book, and I keep thinking about it even after, we read it a few weeks ago. I still keep thinking about it. So yeah, I was like, I'll pick up this book and see if it gives me the same like Victorian Psycho feel. I believe this is the Daedalus book of French horror, the 19th century. Look at this mother freaking cover. This bitch is holding a dead guy's head. She's got a giant eye over her face. There's a skeleton in the back. I'm really into French literature. I have found that it's pretty disturbing, the stuff that I've been introduced to at least. I've had this book in mind for a long time, and then it ended up being cheaper than what it had been. So I was like, I gotta pick this guy up. So I got this one, and it just says the 19th century French horror story has a pedigree at least as remarkable as our own. Born in the aftermath of the French Revolution, the genre was initially used to explore every conceivable manifestation of the supernatural, from alchemy to vampirism. The romantic writers of the 1820s and 30s brought it narrative sophistication and their own set of macabre fears and anxieties concerning abnormal sexuality, the death penalty, and the dissection in the medical schools. The rise of spiritualism led to a change in the direction in the mid-century, as did pioneering work in the discipline later to be known as psychology, while the end of the century witnessed a renewed fascination with diabolism and morbid sexuality. The intention of this anthology is to provide a representative selection of the century of French horror writing by authors, and then it just names a bunch of authors. The majority of stories have never been published before in English, so I'm really fucking excited for this. And I'm not sure if it gives you, I don't think it really tells you much. I mean, there's an introduction, but I don't think it's much other than the stories, which I would be really fascinated to hear about, I just love how society and culture and the horrible things that go on dictate what is represented in our horror stories. So it'd be really interesting to dive a little bit deeper into that, but I'm still really excited to read all of these disturbing French horror stories. Yay! The next guy I picked up, I just found this at Barnes & Noble. It's called The Specimen by Shema Fixon. I don't know how to pronounce anyone's name, but the embroidered looking cover really intrigued me. And then I read the back and I'm like, this sounds so good. So it says, walk carefully lest you become a part of Dr. Burnett's collection. 1826, Isabel Tate finds herself by chance staring at a tiny human heart floating in a jar. It should be of little consequence. Dr. Burnett is renowned for his collection of oddities and medical specimens, and this, a juvenile heart with a damaged mitral valve, is not the strangest thing on display, except that the condition is rare and Isabel's young son, who has been missing for months, suffered from this ailment. I got goosebumps. This sounds so good. A phantom pulse beats in Isabel's ear. She knows something here isn't right. Missing persons cases are all too common in Edinburgh, where people simply vanish like mist. But Burnett is obsessed with the specimens. How far would he go to acquire a new one? Determined to investigate, Isabel joins his staff as the keeper of his collections. What she'll unearth, though, is far worse than any of her nightmares. Based on true crimes, The Specimen is a mesmerizing story about one woman's search for truth and vengeance in the darkest of places where the deadliest secrets lie hidden in plain sight on a freshly dusted shelf. This sounds so good. The cover is so intriguing and I'm really freaking excited for this one. It feels real nice. Next, I found this. I believe this is a thriller, and this is called The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. I had never heard of this before, and it's so weird how books can be so popular and I just never even hear of them. But I was looking at thriller books and I was like, I just want a good thriller. Like, I just want a highly rated, kind of everyone enjoys type of thriller. And I came across this guy. Honestly, like, the look of the cover, I wouldn't think anything of it, but it was rated really high. So I was like, all right, I'll try it out. I'll see what happens. It says, when a teenager vanishes from her Adirondack summer camp, two worlds collide. Early morning, August 1975, a camp counselor discovers an empty bunk. Its occupant, Barbara Van Laar, has gone missing. Barbara isn't just any 13-year-old. She's the daughter of the family that owns the summer camp and employs most of the region's residents. And this isn't the first time that a Van Laar child has disappeared. Barbara's older brother vanished 14 years ago, never to be found. Dun dun dun. As a panic search begins, a thrilling drama unfolds, chasing down the layered mysteries of the Van Laar family and the blue-collar community living and working in its shadows. Moore's multi-threaded story invites readers into a rich and gripping dynasty of secrets. Liz Moore's most ambitious and wide-reaching novels, The God of the Woods, is a story of inheritance and second chances, the tensions between a family and a community, and a history that will not let any of them go. Interesting, right? So, yeah, that sounded super interesting. Next, we have, oh gosh, can I do this without dropping everything? Oh, I think I pulled a muscle. Okay. Next, we have this book. This is super random, but do you guys know that movie Valentine? Okay, so I made my husband watch that on Valentine's Day. I know, so romantic. And he was looking at the IMDb for whatever reason. He's like, oh, did you know this is a book? I'm like, excuse me? Because I watched that movie so much growing up. So this is the book. It's called Valentine, also by Tom Savage. A novel of psychological terror. And it says, a thriller with no heart, no one is safe. Jillian Talbot has it all. A beautiful home in New York's Greenwich Village, a string of best-selling suspense novels. See, it's already different. A handsome and adoring lover. She is something else too. A silent stalker, a secret admirer who sends her pink heart-shaped messages with an unmistakable warning in blood red letters. A killer has invaded her privileged sanctuary. He will imprison her in a nightmare more real than the fiction she creates, and as the price mounts even higher for the crime that Jill had once committed, but only her nemesis can remember, he will meet her at last at the hour of her triumph, her judgment day. Okay, this sounds so different than the movie, but I'm still really excited to read it. I'm curious if the characters at all are the same. I don't even remember if that's the lady's name in it. I also got this makeup bag. I thought it was funny. It says this bag contains my face, and it's a lady with no with no face. Anyways, then I got Notice by Heather Lewis. If you guys watch other booktube channels, you may have come across the booktube channel Criminally, and he has talked about how this is one of the most disturbing books that he has ever read. So it's been on my list for a while, and I ended up purchasing her. I was thinking maybe I could read like other booktubers' most disturbing books, maybe that could be a fun video. So yeah, anyways, this is Heather Lewis's chilling debut novel, House Rules, 1994, moves numbly through a world of motel rooms, heroin, and dyke love. It's difficult to imagine a more passive specimen, the New York Times wrote of a 15-year-old narrator. Lewis then wrote Notice, a novel that enters even darker territory. Another teenage narrator, Nina, begins turning tricks in a parking lot near the suburban home of her absent parents. She soon falls into a sadomasochistic relationship with a couple. Arrested, she's saved by a counselor and admitted to a psychiatric facility, but these soft forms of control turn out to be even worse. Writing in the register of an emotional fugue state, Notice's helpless but all-knowing narrator is as smooth and sharp as a knife. Published posthumously in 2004 and long out of print, Notice has emerged as a classic queer text of trauma written by one of the most talented novelists of her generation. Interesting, right? Yeah, so maybe that will be a video one of these days. Next, I got the Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. I was, just looking for a thriller. Sometimes I was trying to explain this to my husband. Maybe you guys feel the same way. You guys are readers. Maybe you'll know exactly what I mean. But I'm like, sometimes you just need a thriller book that you, even if it's not good, you'll still enjoy. And I'm not saying that her books aren't good, because I have actually enjoyed some of her books. But then I've read one that wasn't like the best book for me personally, but it was still an enjoyable read. Sometimes you just need like an easy thriller, even if it's not great. So anyways, I picked up this one thinking, okay, well, if I have one of those nights where I'm like, I just want a thriller book and it's okay if it's crappy, I'll give this one a try. And if it's great, that's wonderful. But then, you know, if it's not as great as some of her other books, that's totally fine too. A true crime blogger gets more than she bargained for while interviewing the woman acquitted of 2 cold case slayings in this chilling novel from New York Times bestselling author of The Sundown Motel. And I also like how she has multiple timelines. Maybe that wasn't the best way to phrase it, because I have really enjoyed her books. So I'm not saying this is going to be a crappy book. I just think this one is not rated as high as the ones that I like from her. Hopefully you guys know what I'm saying. But this is in 1977, Clark Lake, Oregon was shaken by the Lady Killer murders. 2 men, seemingly randomly, were murdered with the same gun with strange letters left behind. Beth Greer was the perfect suspect, a rich, eccentric 23-year-old woman seen fleeing one of the crime scenes. But she was acquitted and she retreated to the isolation of her mansion. Oregon, 2017. Shea Collins is a receptionist, but by night she runs a true crime website, The Book of Cold Cases, a passion fueled by the attempted abduction she escaped as a child. When she meets Beth by chance, Shea asks her for an interview. To Shea's surprise, Beth says yes. They meet regularly at Beth's mansion, though Shea is never comfortable there. Items move when she's not looking, and she could swear that she's seen a girl outside the window. The allure of learning the truth about the case from the smart, charming Beth is too much to resist, but even as they grow closer, Shea senses something isn't right. Is she making friends with a manipulative murderer, or are there other dangers lurking in the darkness of Greer House? Okay, this actually sounds really fun. Maybe that'll be a really entertaining thriller. Next, you guys let me know that the Vengeful Dead Gravekeeper number 5 series had been published, was out this year. I'm not going to read the back because I have read the first 4 and I don't want to know what happens in this one going in. But I've told you guys about this one before. This is just about a woman who wakes up in the woods. She doesn't know her name. She doesn't know where she came from, but there are men chasing after her. So she runs. She finds a small town. She seeks some refuge with these people in town who kind of protect her, and then go along this journey with her to figure out who she was before. And she can speak to the dead, and she spends her days like clearing the graveyard and breaking bonds with ghosts to this world so they can move on and be happy, you know, wherever dead people go. Okay, we are getting there. The next book that I got was the Penguin Book of Witches. These just popped up on a recommended thing to me, and I was like, yeah, duh. So this says chilling real-life accounts of witches from medieval Europe through colonial America, from a manual for witch hunters written by King James himself in 1597 to court documents from the Salem witch trials of 1692 to newspaper coverage of a woman stoned to death in the streets of Philadelphia while the Continental Congress met. The Penguin Book of Witches is a treasury of historical accounts of accused witches that shed light on the reality behind the legends, bringing to life stories like that of Eunice Cole, tried for attacking a teenage girl with a rock and burned with a stake through her heart. Jesus. Jane Jacobs, a Bostonian so often accused of witchcraft that she took her tormentors to court on charges of slander, and Increase Mather, an exorcism performing minister famed for his knowledge of witches. This volume provides a unique tour through the darkest history of English and North American witchcraft. Come on. This sounds so fun. Oh, this sounds great. I'm so freaking excited to read about some witches. I love books so much. Then I got this. This is The Obscene Bird of Night by Jose Donoso. I don't know what this cover is. This just says, in a maze of musty, forgettable hallways, Mudito rummages through piles of discarded objects, muttering to himself. There are plots afoot. Old women are hunting him through the halls. Are they concerned friends or witches out to capture him, bind him, change him into something unrecognizable? The mute caretaker has his own query. A young orphan girl whom he will entrap and use in a twisted ploy for revenge. And as the story whirls on a vortex of rotting lattice work, voices that shift and multiply weave a horrifying familiar reality out of paranoia, illusions, and lies, where each is trapped within their own Russian doll of unstable selves, shrinking, decaying, always scratching towards a memory of youth, power, and glory. What the fuck is this about? I don't know, but I'm intrigued. The Obscene Bird of Night, Jose Donoso's towering achievement, has been acclaimed as a gigantic masterpiece. Oh, Kurt Vonnegut says that. Well, if he says that, I'm in. A challenging but wonderfully strange read. And these are quotes from other authors, I'm presuming. One of the great novels, not only of Spanish America, but of our time. Oh, and Roberto Bolaño wrote a quote on the back too. To say he's the best Chilean novelist of the century is to insult him. I don't think Donoso had such paltry ambitions. So yeah, I don't know. This sounds very intriguing. It's quite a long book, so I don't know when I'm gonna get to this one exactly, but I'm really excited to read this bitch. Ooh, wait. Why does this book smell floral? Oh, yeah. I love inhaling books. Okay, next, I also got the Penguin Book of Demons. And they have tons of these, by the way. They've got the Ghost Book, I don't know, other stuff like that. But this says 3,000 years of encounters with malevolent beings that have invaded our waking lives and our nightmares. For millennia, society has told tales of their fears incarnate, otherworldly couriers of plague, death, temptation, and moral decline. The Penguin Book of Demons summons these supernatural creatures, and the humans who have hunted... What are you guys doing? Who have hunted and been hunted by them across cultures and continents. The demons of ancient Greece and Rome. Morella, leave the dog alone. The giant biblical half-humans known as Nephilim, who stalked the earth before the great floods. Corrupted angels condemned to eternities in hell. The jinn of Islamic Arabic. The female child-eating Galatis of Byzantium. I'm sorry for my pronunciation. The seductive incubi and succubi of Northern Europe, the animal spirits of early modern China, and the cannibalistic wendigo of Native American folklore. From demonic possessions to black magic, these accounts give life to a spellbinding, skin-crawling history of the paranormal. Oh, this sounds so good. Anyways, yeah, I'll let you know all about demons and witches. Next, we have Amygdalotropolis by B.R. Yeager. This, I don't even understand. Like, it's just doesn't really look like a novel, so I'm not really sure what this is going to read like, but it says Amygdalotropolis is a work of brilliant neuro-realism in which the city is a computer, electronic prickling of sexual fear and autistic aggression where software and synapses flicker in an endless algorithmic loop. Yeah, dude, I don't know what the hell this is, but I really do like his book, Negative Space. So I wanted to pick this up, and, you know, I like the weird stuff. Speaking of which, I also got Dreams of Amputation by Gary J. Shipley. Look at this cover. I love it. It looks so good. And this one has been on my list for a while now. So I wanted to read it, but it doesn't say what it's about, unfortunately. It just says on the back, Dreams of Amputation reads like the nightmares Derek Raymond might have experienced if he'd written Cyberpunk, an exceptionally strange work, but a smart and thoughtful one as well. Disturbing, haunting, and intimately weird. This is a book like no other. Well, I'm in. You convinced me. You didn't even tell me what the hell this book was about, but I'm already in. I will probably read this one very soon because I'm just very intrigued. This book showed up with this one, and I do remember that night that I was looking at thrillers. And I had screenshotted a bunch of high-rated thrillers. They're like really popular on Book Talk, books I've never even heard of. I don't remember purchasing this. I have no idea what this is. So I must have accidentally bought it. I don't know. Or maybe I purposefully did. I have no idea. But it's called That's Not My Name by Megan Lawley. I've never even heard of this. I don't know why I bought it. But it said it was a mistake to trust him. Shivering and bruised, a teen wakes up on the side of a dirt road with no memory of how she got there or who she is. The police don't know. See, I remember reading this, but I don't know why I bought it. I don't know, man. It says the police don't know where she came from until a frantic man arrives at the station where he's searching for he has been searching for her for hours. He has her school ID, her birth certificate, and even her family photos. He is her father. Her name is Mary. Or so he says. Oh, I got goosebumps. When Lola slammed the car door and stormed off into the night, Drew thought that she just needed some time to cool off, except Lola disappeared. Now his friends, the sheriff, and the whole town are convinced Drew murdered his girlfriend. Forget proving his innocence, he needs to find her. The longer Lola is missing, the fewer leads there are to follow, and the more danger they both are in. See, like, I remember reading this, but I don't remember being like, need that book. So I don't know how that got here, but it did. Anyways, don't worry, we're not done yet. I actually got books sent to me. Oh, somebody sent me this wonderful gift. It was actually wrapped for Christmas, and I got it at the beginning of March. Whoops, sorry, I haven't been checking my P.O. box as regularly as I should have. But they sent me this wonderful gift, and I ended up opening it on my birthday because I was like, oh, well, I'll just open it on my birthday. It's almost my birthday anyway, so I'll just save it for then. So it ended up being a wonderful birthday present. So I recorded it on my actual birthday, so I'll show you me opening it one by one. Hello, please excuse the haircut. I unintentionally got a mullet and now I look like the mom from the Brady Bunch. But basically somebody sent me this really nice gift. Hold on, let me show you. Somebody sent me this during Christmas and I didn't check my P.O. box for a long time. And I just got it in the beginning of March and it's like a whole Christmas present. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh. This is so freaking nice for no reason. That's so nice. But anyways, because I had gotten it so late, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to open this on my birthday. So thank you. First of all, whoever sent this, thank you so much. I mean, I can see your name, but I don't know. But you also did call Marilla Queen Marilla, and I really appreciated that. But anyways, this is just, the card is so nice. And anyways, since it was close to my birthday, I'm like, well, I'll open it on my birthday, so it'll feel like I'm getting a little birthday present. So I wanted to open them on here and thank the person who sent this, because this is so unbelievably nice and like obviously unnecessary. You don't have to send me anything, but it's just so nice. Okay, this is Evil Companions. Look at this. It says the first American novel to be banned in England, I'm already in, since Hubert Selby Jr.'s Last Exit to Brooklyn. Evil Companions is one of the most controversial novels of the 1960s, exploring the direct connection between pleasure and pain. Michael Perkins explores the scenario of what it would be like had the hippie generation actually been as debauched and perverted as conservatives believed them to be. Delving into the depths of forbidden sexuality, Evil Companions is as intriguing as it is shocking. That does sound super interesting. I've never heard of this. That is so nice. Thank you. This is... feels like it's my birthday, even though it is my birthday, you know? Okay, let's see what this bad boy is. This is actually the only birthday present that I'm opening on my birthday, so yeah, I mean, I got like gift cards and stuff this weekend, but this is still very nice. Okay, this is Hog by Samuel Delaney. First written 35 years ago and completed days before the Stonewall riots in New York. Hog is one of America's most famous unpublishable novels. It recounts 3 horrifically violent days in 1969 in the life of a truck driver and our word for hire, Franklin Hargis. Narrated by the young accomplice, this novel portrays a descent into unimaginable depravity, a hell comprised of the filth and brutality civilization exists to forget. What transforms this nightmare into literature is Delaney's refusal, faced with our moral anxieties, to manipulate his appealing creation. Hog's monsters wear our faces, possess the human complexities of intense loyalty, perverse admiration, and an integrity so pure that pity becomes betrayal. No reader can be prepared for such a story. It is a stunning achievement. I have heard that this is one of the most messed up stories ever written, so that is so nice. Again, thank you so much. This is just also really funny that I'm opening Christmas wrapping paper in the middle of March. That seems pretty on brand for me though. Let's see what this guy is. Already the cover looks interesting. I think that's a unicorn. Oh, interesting. Okay, this is Vernon Lee, The Virgin of the Seven Daggers. Look at that. That cover is intriguing. It says that this author wrote Gothic tales. He wrote about history, music, literature. In these stories, okay, so I think this is a story collection of obsession and possession, transgressive desire reaches out from the past through the haunting portrait, a murdered poet's lock of hair, the uncanny voice of a diabolical castrato, dragging Lee's protagonists to their doom. Yeah, so there's just a bunch of stories by Vernon Lee, which I don't think that I've ever read anything about him. Again, this is so freaking nice. Thank you. Would it be creepy if I wrote this person a thank you letter? I don't know. Is that creepy? This one is, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. This is Angela Carter, The Bloody Chamber. Look at how beautiful this is. It just says, from familiar fairy tales and legends, Red Riding Hood, Bluebeard, Puss in Boots, Beauty and the Beast, Vampires and Werewolves, Angela Carter has created an absorbing collection of dark, sensual, and fantastical stories. Okay, so it seems like retelling of like fairy tales and legends. It says, magnificent set pieces of fastidious sensuality, says Ian McEwan. This is so beautiful. I feel like you get me, you know? Like, I feel like you know me. This, wow, again, another freaking cool cover. I don't know what this is. My brain does not know what this says. Oh, Traffic by Ricky DeCornet? Look at how cool this cover is. It's my dog, my husband singing to the dogs. This one says, I'm opening these books. Come look at how cool these books are. Look at this cover. It says, Quiver, a mostly human astronaut, takes refuge from the monotony of harvesting minerals on remote asteroids by running through a virtual reality called the Lights, chasing visions of an elusive red-haired beauty. Her high-strung robot partner Mick pilots their wobble and entertains himself by surfing records of the obliterated planet Earth for Al Pacino trivia, reconstructing sushi recipes and high fashion trends. But when an accident destroys their cargo, Quiver and Mick go rogue, setting off a madcap journey through outer space towards an idyllic destination, the planet Traffic. Wait, this sounds so fun! I've never even heard of this. This cover is absolutely beautiful. This is seriously so nice. I'm telling you, Brian, whoever sent this, they get me. They understand me. They know me. And then the last one is Cold Hand in Mind, Strange Stories by Robert, is it Aickman? A-I-C-K-man? Ackman? I don't know. This says, these 8 stories draw the reader irresistibly into 8 strange worlds, uncanny, enigmatic, unearthly. In each, there is something chillingly wrong, a hint of diabolism or vampirism or reincarnation or the living dead, all of which can be explained away as hallucination or hysteria. Or could it? These stories cover a wide range of settings and situations. Wow, okay, I have never read anything from this writer too. This is so cool. Brian, look at this. Look at how pretty this one is.
Cool.
Look at how cool this one is. This is one of the most disturbing books ever. And this one I've never even heard of before. And it was banned in the 60s. So like, you know, a banned book, I'm all in. Isn't that crazy? This person knows me. This was so nice. Thank you so much to whoever sent that. I super duper appreciate it. And you made my birthday very pleasant, even though you sent this at Christmas time. Isn't that so nice? And what's really cool is they wrote and said that I had one of the books on Kindle, and I was like, oh, do I? And I did have Hog on Kindle, and I really wanted a physical copy of that one. And I feel like they just read my mind and got me the Hog, but I don't know. That was so freaking nice. So thank you so much. Honestly, that made my birthday. It was very nice. Obviously, not necessary to send me books or anything, but like, honestly, that was so freaking sweet. And I really apologize for not opening it 3 months ago when you sent it then. But I also got, I think, one other package. I actually got 2 things. So this is Nick Roberts' The Exorcist's house. This just says, in the summer of 1994, psychologist Daniel Hill buys a rustic farmhouse nestled in the rolling hills of West Virginia. Along with his wife and teenage daughter, the family uproots their lives in Ohio and moves south. They are initially seduced by the natural beauty of the country setting, and that soon changes when they discover hidden rooms in the basement with a well, boarded shut and adorned with crucifixes. Ooh. Local legend about the previous owner being an exorcist come to light, but by then all hell has broken loose. Ooh, that sounds really interesting. This was sent by one of you, so thank you very much. This sounds really fun. And then this last one I haven't opened yet, so I'm not 100% sure what this is, but it's just a bunch of books. There's no note or anything, so I'm not sure if this is just like a gift of random books. Oh my god, wait, this freaking looks so interesting. Holy crap. Okay, but these are both by Tony Burgess. And this is People Live Still in Cashtown Corners. And this just says, it is what it is. That's her car out there. And well, that's her right there. Jeremy looks out at the woman again. There's a few flies dripping in and out of the back of her skull. What happened to her? I feel a little uncomfortable. I wasn't really planning to lay it all out there like this. Well, I hate to say it, but I killed her. Jeremy nods slowly. He's starting to take this in, and I'm relieved. Don't ask me why. Anything I say is just going to sound ridiculous. I rub my hand in my hair. I want to appear frustrated. Things just got out of control. Bob Clark owns the self-serve in Cashtown Corners. It's the only business there, and Bob is the only resident. He's never been comfortable around other people until he starts to kill them. And murder, Bob soon discovers, is magic. People live still in Cashtown Corners is Bob's account of a tragedy we all thought was senseless. Wait, this sounds so freaking interesting. Wait, there are pictures in here. Is this like a real... Oh, that's a crime scene. Oh, that's a dead body. Okay, was not expecting that. I thought this was fiction. So, I don't know. I mean, there's crime scene photos in here, so I'm thinking this might be based on a true story. Okay, and then this says... This is by the same writer, Pontypool Changes Everything. Oh, now a major motion picture directed by Bruce McDonald. And interesting. This one, oh, it just has quotes on the back. You're not gonna tell me what you're about? Come on, tell me. What are you about? Oh, it does. Okay, the night I had terrible dreams I was killing people. When I woke, it took some serious self-examination to convince myself that I was not repressing real acts of murder. So completely vivid was my sense of guilt that I felt nothing short of running through a full account of my life and provide me with the peace of mind I needed to fall back asleep. In spite of 3 hours I spent combing over the details, I have to this day a very persistent certainty that hidden inside me is a revolted knowledge of days when I wasn't quite myself. I now suspect that my inexplicable bouts of exhaustion are due to the massive effort of keeping those days behind me. Sounds like it's about murder too. I always think it's so funny when it's like a book about murder and it's like, for my girls, for my best friend. It says, the quotes on the back, quite literally a hell of a read. Buy all his books, an exquisite writer. One of the most important novels published this year. Very interesting. But thank you so much. This is so cool. Okay, this is With Teeth, Horror Stories by Christian Wallace. It says, meet the reluctant caregiver of an abandoned high-rise teeming with supernatural horrors. A man's search for his lost dog leads him into an abandoned doomsday bunker or harboring on the unimaginable. Oh God, if my dog ran into a doomsday bunker, I'd go too. Ancient horrors awaken beneath the Antarctic ice as researchers uncover a terrifying underwater temple. Interesting. In a world where children manifest terrifying supernatural powers, the agent navigates the moral maze of containment and control. In these tales and others, Christian Wallace, the acclaimed Reddit no-sleep author, oh, interesting, serves us a feast of terror that will leave readers checking over their shoulder, double locking their doors. From mundane moments that spiral into nightmares to insidious horrors waiting patiently to strike, this collection proves that danger is always ready to bite, and it's closer than you think. But if this is you, if you sent this to me, thank you. Okay, this is Wrath of a Sister by Jodie Swannell. God, these covers, look at that. Prepare to be confused and spooked. You already got me. This short story's plot twist will shock you and leave you awake at night, too scared to sleep. Lisa will have you empathizing with her even when the violence burrows its way inside your mind. Will Lisa find her sister Jennifer, or will her rage consume her before she has a chance? This is like a teeny tiny book. That's interesting. And then this cover, dude. It's called Inside Out by Laure Gislason. Are you serious? It says, an over-the-top tribute to the goopy, grimy, and gross horror of the 1980s. I was gonna say, this reminds me of the freaking Stuff. Wait, can you see? Anyways, after a mysterious infection spreads through the world, people and animals start melting into horrific monsters. Already in. This wild debut novella follows everyday people dealing with the new chaotic reality, from school children to scummy landlords to mad scientists, featuring illustrations from artists. No way. Barf bag not included. Wait, so cool. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I'm really intrigued by this guy. This was published in 2022. Guys, I'm stoked for this. A book that's like the Stuff? Are you joking? That's my dream. Let's look at one of these pictures together. Oh wow, that is so incredibly neat. That is so nice. So thank you to whoever sent this. Whomever sent this? He sent this. Whoever sent this. And then the last thing that I just wanted to show you was I got this reading journal off of Etsy. It's from a small company in Australia, and I just wanted to show it to you guys because it's so incredibly beautiful and way better than any reading journal that I've had before. I think I've only had one before, but still, this one is way better. First of all, look at it right now. Look at how beautiful it is. Holy crap. And they have different colors. They have a red one, a purple one, a blue one. I don't know exactly, but it's huge. A lot of space in here. The only negative that I've found so far, and it's really, to me, not that huge of a deal, is that the pages are kind of thin. So it does bleed through if you use ink. And this is just highlighter for my tracking. And it does bleed through a little bit on the next page. But other than that, I'm obsessed with these. I think they're so pretty, so I will link them in case you guys are interested in them. They're expensive, I'm not gonna lie, but I think they are made by this small company, and shipping from Australia is only 10 bucks, so I think altogether this was like $50. It was like $38 plus $10 shipping, which isn't honestly that crazy because the last reading journal I got, I think it was like $30, and it sucked. It was not good. And so I really like this. There's a bunch of cute stuff to do in here. Like in the beginning, they have this whole page of a library, and so I've just been writing the titles of all the books that I've read and then slowly coloring the books. And then they have like some quotes in here, and they have a bunch of stuff, like they have some goals, upcoming releases, just some cool stuff. So I'm really enjoying this. And yeah, I just wanted to show it to you because I showed it to the people on Patreon and they were like, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. So I wanted to show you guys as well. But I think that's my book haul. Thank you so much. Seriously, if whoever sent me those books, thank you. That's so nice. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited to read Hog. And this one, are you kidding? And the Exorcist house, it's just so nice. You guys are so kind. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching me just ramble on about books for the last hour. Super appreciate that. Let me know which one of these books you guys are most interested for, and I will be seeing you soon with another horror video. Bye guys!